What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls 2, Crown of the Ivory King. We're gonna pick up where we left off last time, in the area known as the Inner Wall, which is not a terribly big chunk of the zone, but it is comprised of some really hard rooms. Chief among them being this first one. So we have a bunch of knights in that room. We have retainers, we have dudes throwing projectiles, and we have a couple of inanimate golems that we've seen earlier on in the level. Those golems come to life when they absorb a soul, so if you kill something next to them, that's what will animate them. Luckily, this golem, the first one, does not seem to have followed the two knights out into the hall. That is a really fortunate situation. Yeah, he's just shambling around in circles in there. He could have made that really messy, so I want to bait him out into the hallway, get his attention, and drag him out here, so I can get a nice one-on-one fight. I have a hard enough time dealing with... I have a hard enough time dealing with the golems without fighting them alongside ads. So you can imagine how poorly this would have gone if he had friends with him. But, okay, I've regrouped. Oh, that phantom startled me. Okay, I think I got the timing down now. I think I have it. Oh, I walked into the shockwave though. Still not bad. We want to try to roll as late as possible against these guys. That's generally a good rule of thumb in Dark Souls 2, is roll later as opposed to rolling early. Okay, now this room's cakewalk, now that we've dealt with the hard parts. It's just that retainer and this knight. Oh, he was out of range for that second swing. Still, not bad. And that's pretty much that for this room. There are just two chests left. One of which is a mimic. Yep, iron chest mimic. Second one we found in Eleum Loyce. Kind of surprising, given that there were no mimics at all in the previous two DLCs. We've already found two here. But... shit. Okay, yeah, I do have the timing down now. Took a while, but I got it, I think. Watch me jinx myself. The mimic soul brought him to life, which I didn't think would happen for some reason. A soul is a soul is a soul. And you might have noticed he dropped that awesome symbol of Avarice, the mimic helm. Really great callback item to Dark Souls 1. And this one is an iron mimic helm. There it is, symbol of Avarice. Damn, that thing looks cool. I wish they fixed how the sword clips through it, though. Still really cool. The symbol of Avarice was an item from Dark Souls 1 that you would get for killing all the mimics in the game. A headpiece depicting the avaricious creature that mimics treasure chests, increases soul absorption and item discovery. There's a curious tale of an incorrigibly covetous ancient deity. Clearly it has currency amongst some miscreants, or this would have never been crafted. I think the description of the helm in Dark Souls 1 alluded to the mimic itself being, or the symbol of Avarice that depicts this mimic being some kind of god. Whereas that seems to imply that maybe it's just a fable. I think the condition to get that is different in this game as well. In Dark Souls 1, you had to kill all the mimics. This is my favorite invasion of the game. But the Phantom's not gonna come after us just yet, so we'll ignore it for now. Forget about him. Holy Knight Aurheim. Here, I think that mimic drops the symbol of Avarice all the time, no matter how many mimics you've killed. Okay, this room is tricky in that there are 3 of those inanimate golems in the center of the room. If you look closely, you can see that they are guarding a treasure chest. But since they're inanimate, there's no way to get to that chest unless you kill something nearby, let the inanimate golem absorb a soul and come to life and move out of the way. Normally, I would ignore an item that involves such a pain in the ass to get to, but the item inside that chest happens to be way too interesting to ignore, so gonna fight a couple golems. And the reason I'm leaving that retainer alive is because I think it's close. That's lucky. That retainer is close enough to the golems that if I kill the retainer, it's gonna bring another one to life, and I would rather have a golem and a retainer active than 2 golems active at a time. I can deal with taking a couple stray magic shots from these retainers, but 2 golems? No, thank you. Ah, that was not great, but did what I wanted it to do. And the soul from that golem brought another golem to life, and it's the golem that I wanted. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to change course here. The chest is no longer blocked. That third one, which is now active, you don't have to get that one out of the way to get to the chest. It's just the 2 in front of it. So what I think I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to brute force this. Oh, that's not going to work. I got caught on the edge of it before I could start opening the chest. Yeah, what I'm going to try to do is run past them, get them a little bit further away from it, and then use the iframes from the chest opening animation. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Yep. Use the iframes from opening the chest to grab the curved nil greatsword inside. And I'll take that kick. That's fine, they can't do anything to hurt me now. And again, we'll heal up and run straight past them. That curved nail greatsword is really interesting because it gets stronger on subsequent New Game Pluses. So, remember that invader? Yeah, that invader was hanging out as a barrel disguised using chameleon. And if you don't deal with him, you run past, you might not realize, you probably the first time you go through here won't realize that he's using chameleon to disguise himself. You'll run past him, try to open the chest, he will backstab you and kill you. I love it. I love the scummy, greasy tactics of the invaders in the DLC. And all he's guarding is a bunch of silver talismans. It's basically shit. Not even worth risking your life over. This drop leads us back down to the path from the beginning of the area. That is Ava's boss room, just off to the left back there. So, we're not going to go that way. Instead, we're going to continue to explore the inner wall by, once again, just running past these golems. No problem there. Yeah, I'm curious to try that curved nail greatsword out on a New Game Plus and subsequent New Game Pluses. That is what it scales with. Really unique greatsword. Oh, the golems can make it this far. Oh god. I'm gonna get punished for that. No, I made it out. Okay. So I'm gonna have to kill these. Otherwise, they're gonna stalk me down the hall. Okay, get back and heal. Oh no, I'm stuck on his arm. Ah. That's fine. I just won't activate them when I come back through here. Shit. Yeah. I'll leave pretty much everything in that room alive except for the knights. The retainer isn't gonna bother following me. Oh, another ice rapier. Okay, so we can just concentrate on this one room. In fact, you know what? I don't even need to deal with anything in this room. I could have run straight through to the gate, because there is another Loyce Knight back here. Great, so we've now activated 2 of the 3 optional Knights of Eleum Loyce. I still haven't quite figured out where that last one is. I think I have an idea of where it might be, but I'll go and explore around and search for him later. There's still a fair bit to do back here. Again, this is the room between the inner sanctum and Ava's boss room. So we now have a shortcut back to there. But we're not going to be using it just yet. Still a little bit left to do in the inner wall. Most of the dangerous stuff, most of the really interesting stuff as well, that's taken care of. Oh, I'm happy to be playing this online with messages. I would have missed this illusory wall. It's a really well hidden one. Got a couple of knights in this room. Oh, that projectile. That's a narrow walkway to be fighting him on, too. Yeah, just charge straight ahead. Super telegraphed animation. Okay. And there was, what, one or two more? One. Oh, and they just rematerialized the spear out of ice. Oh, and there's you too. Right, okay. That makes this a little bit tricky. But I get invincibility frames, so it's not that bad. Oh, where were you even charging to? You don't even know where you're going. Now you're dead. I could drop down now, but I would rather not. Nope, never mind, I'm lying. I would rather. I think. Let me just double check and make sure there's not something else on the other side. Oh yeah, okay. Rolled straight into it. Oh. That's not going well. Oh, I guess that kind of, the spiky ice carapace might make them immune to backstabs? Not sure. That's just now occurring to me. I've been trying to backstab them this whole time. That's probably why it's not working out. You are not a mimic? I think there's a bow in here. Oh, this is, the fire clutch ring. Okay. Could've sworn there was a bow around here. So instead of dropping back into the golem room, can now make the drop over here that we avoided earlier. I believe that just brings you down to... Oh, no, there's still one more drop to make to get down to the base level. This is, I think, what the bow is. And this is just overlooking the bonfire, just about. So we'll pick whatever's in this chest up, then continue on with the couple of remaining optional areas left in the level. Yeah, twin-headed Greatbow. I knew that thing was around here somewhere. Is that another? No. Yep, so this is where the retainer was, and to the right is the inner wall bonfire. So, nothing left to do here. So instead, we will head... let's go back to the beginning, and... Oh, wait, no. Oh, God, I screwed that up. Okay. That's like a minute of loading screens I get for being way too hasty. What I wanted to do was come out here to the second bonfire, because there's still a couple of things that we're missing here. So, remember way back when I said that there is a ladder that you can't access yet? I found out that I'm actually partially wrong about that. Actually, completely wrong. It's not that you can't access the ladder, it's that until you get the Eye of the Priestess, the ladder that I'm heading towards is invisible. You can actually totally climb it even though it's invisible, you just have to know it's there. But there is something that you don't have access to until you get the winds of Eleum Loyce to stop blowing, and it's a chest just ahead and to the left. This chest was frozen in a block of ice before, so, It's fine coming back here now. Oh, it's just an Elizabeth mushroom. We'll ignore the retainer. And now we'll head towards that ladder that I could have climbed up before, but did not. So now that I have the Eye of the Priestess, this ladder is no longer invisible. We'll climb up it, and we will get a miracle from this chest, which is not a mimic. The room right below us should be the room with all the dogs in it, and the broken staircase, but that's not really any concern of ours. Once we dispatch with the knight, great. Splintering lightning spear. Oh, what am I doing? Did I forget to pick that effigy up before? God, I shouldn't have rolled off that. I have no idea what I was thinking either. And somehow the dogs didn't aggro. Okay. I'm cool with that. So now we will head to the optional challenge area. But before I do that, I should actually head back to Majula and spend some of these souls, because there is almost definitely going to be a couple of deaths ahead. So I will see you in a second. Okay, here we go. If this... Oh, man, Visions of Tears? How do you miss Visions of Horses ahead? Oh well. So, we get in the coffin, and we toboggan down the mountain. And this is going to bring us to the Frigid Outskirts, which is this DLC's optional challenge area. Oh, man. I love this area so much. Okay, so Visions of Despair, still no Visions of Horses. That's a shame. Visibility is next to nothing here. There is this bright spot of light in the distance, and all around a maelstrom of snow, which occasionally subsides for a couple of seconds at a time. This is a giant, open, snowy desert. And your goal is to make it from here to the boss fog. Sounds simple? It is mostly pretty simple. But given the fact that you can't see during the blizzard, you have to wait until the storm subsides, orient yourself, and find the nearest landmark and run like hell towards it. So far, not so bad. We're going from the first ruin building to the second one now, and the blizzard is just about to pick up again. Between the first and second ruin building, we get glorious Visions of Horses ahead. These are crazy dangerous enemies. They have really strong melee attacks, they have knockdowns, they have a lot of spells that they cast at you. Not easy enemies to deal with. And they follow you forever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use sound cues, and I am just going to nonchalantly dodge them, and I've managed to screw my orientation up, which is not good at all. Oh. And there are a lot of horses here, too. So I'm just gonna have to follow the rightmost wall and hug it until I can, get some breathing room and orient myself. I'm choosing to do this the hard way just for the hell of it. I want to see if I can. It's not working out too well right now. I want to see if I can manage to just straight up run through this place and not fight. Someone on Reddit made a really detailed post. Okay, there's my orientation. There's where I'm heading towards. Someone on Reddit made this really detailed post about how the horse spawns work. So they have a patrol path that they follow. They spawn between the ruined buildings, between the second and third, and the third and the bonfire, and between the first and the second. I think I'm actually pretty close to the boss fog, actually, unless this is the second building, which I'll know in a second. No, it definitely is. I have another building I have to get to. So they only aggro to you during the blizzards. When the blizzard subsides, they are basically invisible and non-hostile, unless they're already following you. And between the final building and the boss gate, there are 10 of them. Oh, yeah, I tried to just run for it. Didn't work out too well, so I will be back in just a second with a better plan. What a merciless zone. This has been kicking my ass. I love it, though. Okay, so from the corner of the coffin, go straight forward. I've kind of learned to orient myself without the storm subsiding. I'm looking for one specific statue. If I follow that one straight, almost like the needle of a compass, if I just walk straight over it and run straight forward, that leads me almost directly to the first ruined building. I've kind of learned to navigate this place, yeah, almost perfectly towards that building, without needing to actually see what's in front of me. It's kind of like a zen-like state. Okay, so now I'm just running straight ahead, which is not going to be easy. It came at me from the side and gored me. I've now lost my orientation because I turned to fight the horse. I think I just need to turn straight left to be back on track, but I'm going to take it kind of slowly so I don't go too far out of the way if I'm wrong. I think I might need to drift a little bit towards the right. Yeah. Okay, so I have a pretty good orientation going now. Like I was saying a couple of attempts ago, the horses only aggro to you while the storm is raging, which makes them even more dangerous. Between the first and the second and the third building, they're not too bad because there are only a couple of them patrolling around. Between the third building and the boss fog, though, I've been getting wrecked non-stop every attempt because there are 10 horses in this death zone, this no man's land between the third building and the boss. To fight them isn't so bad, but they may as well be impossible to fight in that death zone because there are so many of them. So what I've done is I've equipped Gower's Ring of Protection and some other stuff in the hopes that I will be able to just run from the third building to the boss. Also, I'm fat rolling, so I'm gonna need to deal with that. Okay. Good. Back in quick roll range. I have Gowers protecting me. They have nerfed Gowers as of a couple of patches ago. Gowers no longer absorbs attacks from behind. That's the third building way off in the distance. Instead, what Gower's Ring of Protection does now is it just reduces the amount of damage you take from behind instead of absorbing hits straight up. Man, that was hard. That's really hard to judge depth out here. Visibility is bad, but my depth perception is even worse right now. And I'm just gonna have to wait for the storm to subside again. Oh, hey, Hollow. Because yeah, when those horses attack, you just have to turn and face them and fight, and you lose your way. Okay. Unless you're really good at keeping track of your orientation towards the building while you're fighting an enemy. The problem is sometimes I see you and yeah, I still got clipped. God. Okay, I think if I just turn right now 180 degrees, I'm back on track. Now it should be a little toward my left. I'm gonna wait though. I don't want to get lost out here. And there's another horse coming anyway. Yep. That's what makes this hard, is trying to keep track of where you're facing while you're fighting. That extra little distraction just makes it that much harder. I love the hell out of this area, though. It is incredibly difficult. And it's one of the longest runs to a boss from a bonfire in any, out of any of the Souls games. It is a long run back, and there are no real shortcuts to follow. You can learn the path flat out without needing to see where you're going. But even then, it's still hard. I guess that knight is stuck on the barrels? And I made it to the boss at one point, but I didn't have enough health and I got killed while I was healing. Okay. So we're at the third building, and we are now about to cross into the no man's land death zone of ponies. We'll wait until I can I have a pretty good feeling of where to go from here. I just want to see it to confirm. Take a couple of steps out into the snow. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's towards... With the blinding light in the distance, it makes it even harder to see, but there's a little crevice, a little snow-peaked valley. And here we go with the horses. This is why I put Gowers on, so I can just run at this point. Harder to do than it sounds. I made it here, and there's got to be a train of at least 4 or 5 of them behind me. They should have a pretty hard time. Oh god, they can still knock me off the cliff though, off the bridge. They're not gonna stop me from getting through the boss fog though. Okay, good. Whew, god, that's intense. Let me switch my rings out while I still have a chance. Okay. At least I got the Ring of Blades on. So, for making it this far, we fight a clone of the first boss of the DLC. We fight a clone of Ava, except this one is Lud, the king's pet. Behaves exactly the same as Ava does, has all the same moves. No differences there. Oh, that's gonna be the AoE. Except this is a group fight. This is just like the Belfry Gargoyles. Once you get Lud down to low health, you will have to deal with another Ava clone. Which I think, just for the fact that it's not Smelter Demon and it's not the Gank Squad, I like the Ava fight. And they put a little tiny bit of a unique wrinkle on this one, in that it's a gargoyle type fight. It's still lazy, but if that's how it's going to be for the co-op challenge area, this is my favorite one. So now we have a problem. I'm gonna have to burn this last one down before I get overwhelmed. You're meant to do this with a partner who can distract them, but I haven't used a summon for any of the Souls games to get through an area so far. I'm not gonna use one now, so we're gonna fight them 2-on-1. Okay, I do have a little bit of time to heal, and I can finish Lud off with 1 or 2 hits. Just have to find an opening. And luckily, they are really good at giving you breathing room. That homing attack gives you so much time to heal or deal with the other pet. Now that it's 1-on-1, this is just a low-rent Ava. It's still dangerous, but it's not quite so bad anymore. It's no Ornstein, it's Smo. Roll through that. Oh, not the second one, though. That's fine. That gives me time to heal. The reason that this is way easier than it seems like it's gonna be is because they give you so much breathing room. Much more so than other group fights. They're not that aggressive compared to, say, the Belfry Gargoyles or Ornstein and Samo. That's new, though. I haven't seen that before. Is he doing more damage now, or what? Oh god, it's really hard to see because the color of the life bar doesn't contrast from the background that well, but I'm pretty sure what they're doing... Oh, I'm gonna get hit. No, I'm not. They're healing. I mean, it's healing. Still thinking of him as two bosses. Okay, that's new. He's regenerating health rapidly. That means I'm gonna have to get reckless to beat his healing. If he had hit me there before my swing landed, if I had not killed him with that swing, I would have absolutely been dead. Wow, what an area and what a fight! Whew! That's good. That's the best challenge area in the game, in any of the DLCs. That really reminds me of those, like, fuck you moments from Dark Souls 1. Stuff like the Anorlando Demon Archers and the Tomb of Giants. I love that. In that great little masochistic way. So, we don't have much of the DLC left, but we've already gone over on time, so we'll deal with the end of the Dark Souls 2 Lost Crown DLC trilogy. We'll deal with the end of that and the end of this specific DLC next time. For now, thanks for watching, everyone. Take it easy. Have a good one.